Hey there, this is Unmesh, and in this video we'll learn what is white point and black point and how to set them. In this tutorial we'll learn two extremely simple ways to set your white point and black point perfectly in Lightroom. Setting your white and black points correctly expands your tonal range and at the same time allows your image to show more detail and all the possible shades of colors. So without any further ado, let's get started. Now, what is white point and black point? White point is simply the brightest area of the image and black point is the darkest area of the image. Now, setting your white or black point is simply making the brightest area more brighter or darker so that it doesn't lose any detail, and setting the black point means making your darker area more darker or brighter so that it doesn't lose any detail. So suppose your brightest area of the image is too bright. And so bright it's losing details, it's clipping. So setting your white point in that situation means that bringing the whites a little bit down, bringing the brightness of the brightest part a little bit down so that you recover the details. But suppose if the brightest area of the image is not bright enough. It has all the details, yes, but it's not bright enough. It's a little bit grayish. So it takes that brighter area and increases the brightness to such an extent so that it also retains detail and it's bright at the same time. And same goes with the black point. As you might remember from the previous video, our first job is to set the white balance. So let's go ahead and do that quickly. So eyedropper tool, select an area which is gray, and click on an area which is gray, and automatically it sets the white balance. And the second thing that we need to do before setting the white and black points is to set the exposure, contrast, highlights and shadows. So let's go ahead and do that really quickly. Contrast, I don't think we need much of a contrast. Let's set it to 0. And highlights, let's bring the highlights down. Why? Because we want to have details in the highlights areas. If we increase the highlight too much, you see that's clipping. We don't want that to happen. So bring the highlights down. I would like it at -100, and let's bring the shadows up so that we recover details from inside the monument a little bit. Now it's time to set the white or black point. Well, you can always go ahead and increase or decrease it and set it manually, but what I would suggest is the two excellent ways. The first way is to press and hold Alt or Option if you're using a Mac, and then go ahead, hold Alt, increase the whites, and stop at the point where you begin to see artifacts or a little bit of patches. Okay, so as I go ahead and increase this, you see the more I increase, the more I see the patches. Now what these patches mean? See, the area on which it shows white when I'm increasing this, it means that it doesn't have any detail. The white areas doesn't have any detail. The red areas have very less detail. That's the whole point of this visuals. Now, let's go ahead and do that really quickly. Let's stop right here. We're good. And let's go to the blacks. Press and hold Alt. And here we'll do just the opposite. It shows white. And now press and hold Alt or Option if you're using Mac. And then let's drag this to the left. And stop at the point where you begin to see some artifacts or patches. Stop. Okay. Now, there might be a situation where even in the middle, you press and hold Alt and you just drag the slider, there might be some artifacts. And that time, you might have to increase it to the right. So that's for some other image. That might be your case. Just saying. Okay, let's stop here. So this is one of the ways of doing it. But you know what? Adobe Lightroom is so intelligent that it can do it automatically for you. How? Let's reset this. How to reset this? Double click on the whites, double click on the blacks, and it's reset. Also, another way to reset is double click on the slider and it resets automatically. Now, to do that automatically, to tell Photoshop or Lightroom to do that automatically for you, all you need to do, press and hold Shift. If you're using a Mac, also it's Shift, and then press and hold Shift, double click on the whites and wait. It does it automatically. Press and hold Shift, double click on the blacks. Boom, If I hadn't explained it to you, this would have taken how much? Maybe 30 seconds, 60 seconds, not more than that. In less than 60 seconds, we can bring so much more out of an image. Let's go ahead and look at the before and after. So this is the before, this is the after. As you can see how beautifully we have recovered the details out of the shadows, and also at the same time, we have retained the depth of the image. So guys, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like the video if you like it, dislike the video if you dislike it, and I'll see you guys in my next tutorial. Till then, stay tuned and make sure that you keep creating.